made his first character as Dragonborn Paladin,
Nice.
and we established he was separated from his clan and joined the town guard in Selune after he was adopted by the two dwarves of the town who are also the town blacksmiths.
Nice. Nice.
So he's a dragonborn with dwarf parents. So his name is Kriv Firehammer.
Ooh. That is a very dwarfy name.
Yeah.
I kind of love
So
it.
he's a big gold dragon in chainmail named Kriv Firehammer.
Hmm. He
Um,
fights stuff and is holy.
um, my sister is also playing her first D&D campaign.
Hmm.
She's the cleric of Sune, named Mara Donathun,
Good name.
half elf.
Hmm.
Going around the table in my brain. Sean Young is a half orc barbarian named Cress Scromerd.
Press
Uh, Cress Scromerd.
Press Spromerd.
Scromerd. Well,
Scromerd.
to give you an idea of
Scr-
how it's to give you an idea of how it's spelled, if you rearrange the letters, it's Shrek DreamWorks.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
You know what? This is already a good comp. I like it. I like it.
Sean is the human fighter. Sean, another Sean, and
Shantu.
uh,
Shantae.
he is Captain Warwick, who's the one who has the werewolf PTSD.
Oh, nice.
Um, Brad, who anyone else who's listened to Coffee and Pie might also know, is our half elf druid who is going into Circle of Spores domain.
Mm.
Um, and he is a free-willing hippie druid who lives in the forest and picks and eats mushrooms and has orgies.
Yeah, well, I mean that's many druids are like that. Remember our
Yes,
yes,
yes, I
no,
do.
never forget Farron.
Yes.
Never forget Farron the frog licker.
Um, Admiral Ash, who many might know if they've ever seen me do Drunken Pirate Gaming Nights, is a dwarven rogue named Rank Iron Gut.
Ooh, a dwarf rogue. That's cool.
Yeah. Um, who can't say no to a drinking contest. Um, and then there's Dan D. Reynolds.
And then there's oh yeah, yeah. So in the dregs, this was described a little earlier, but just to give everybody a quick recap,
He
Dandy Reynolds.
is the Dragonborn Bard, who has made it part of his character that if he ever rolls nat one on a performance check for singing, he immediately activates his breath weapon.
What color? What ancestry?
uh,
Dragonborn.
they both of our Dragonborns are gold.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, gold. Funny, I like Dragonborn. I played a silver Dragonborn ranger in Icewind Dale. And yes, I made the choice deliberately so you could have cold resistance, and I played a Gloomstalker because it's always freaking dark. So he's basically a ninja who runs around the Arctic and kills things and then feeds everybody good berries to keep them from starving to death.
nice.
Yeah, it's fun. He also he's a pirate. He's a former pirate, so he has kind of a he. I tried to get him to talk a little bit like Jeffrey Rush, but it doesn't really come out that way. So he just ends up sounding kind of raspy. It's fun. I like him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Welcome to Underdark Analysis, where we now live in a Dungeons and Dragons setting. Uh,
Yep.
I, Alan and I are both the dungeon masters here.
We are
Um,
your dungeon masters.
You're your dungeon master. So this is session zero. We expect you to start getting your character ready.
Yeah.
The scenario we're running for you tonight is the another installment of everyone's favorite segment, Short and Shivery, because we enjoyed the works published by Short Story One.
Oh no.
Oh yes, oh yes. I probably should have.
Oh, you didn't tell me.
No, I probably should have. We have
Oh,
five. We have five. These are the last five
I
that
just I just got short story one.
you just got. Yeah, there's no reason for me to repeat it. You already said. Damn it.
Woo.
Well, you were probably. I feel bad because, like I said, hey, we're gonna read the Happy Appy thing soon. But Abysme has expressed an interest in joining us for that one, and
Yeah.
I think if we're going to go back to Happy Appy in some capacity, even if it is fan work, I'd like to make sure we're all on board and all ready for it. Not to overhype it or anything, because I have no idea what the quality will be like, but it feels like we need at least three of us for that one. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Dronian. Hey,
Dronian, Dronian,
hey, let us read
Dronian,
it.
please, Dronian,
I will get Happy Appy tattooed on my body if you say yes. Let us do it.
please,
That is
Dronian.
that is a promise. Everyone out there, get the word out to Dronian on Twitter. Let him know that Alan Cheney is fucking serious.
Yeah,
He will get Happy Appy tattooed on him if he lets us read Happy Appy the True Vision on the
don't
on UCA.
don't tell Dronian that he was planning on doing it anyway. Just don't mention that part.
Yeah, don't do
Make
that.
it no, don't mention that part. Like that's important. You don't mention that part. Just talk. Instead we're gonna spin this narrative. We're gonna spin it. Yep. You only on that condition. Only
Yep.
on that condition.
That's the only way it's going to happen.
The only way it's gonna happen at all. But until then, we're at the we're in the last five short story one stories that they sent us. So I figured we might as well. We haven't done these in a little bit. That in the grand scheme of things, that's not actually true. It was a few months ago, but well, gotta rip that band-aid off at some point, right?
Yeah.
Well, figure we might as well. These can either be fun or depressing. Usually both.
Kind of both. Yeah.
Kind of both. I enjoy them. I don't know. There's a certain je ne sais quoi to the madness that is short story one. And in that essence, Alan, I'm going to send you the link to the first one.
Okay.
Yes. Be prepared. Ha! Our first entry into this realm is a short story entitled, "Oh, I failed to understand the cat."
Okay.
And it's not very long at all. It is literally 5 paragraphs.
Great.
Cool.
Good.
Since I was kind of rude and didn't give you the didn't preface this before we dived into it, do you want me to start?
Go right ahead.
Okay. A family of 5 had committed suicide, and it is going to be a real tragedy for the whole community. They were known to be.
Sorry. Diving into short story one like no lube is a little.
You wanna make something up before we get in here? Or...
No, I'm good.
Okay, you sure? Like I think we built up a tolerance at this point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. A family of 5. Yeah, I'll start again. Why not? Family of 5 had committed suicide, and it is going to be a real tragedy for the whole community. They were known to be such a wonderful family, and everyone loved them, and they are all going to miss them. When I tell everyone what I had found, I was the air window cleaner, and when I came for my payment, I had found that the front door was wide open, and I found this to be extremely odd. As a family, we're always safety conscious. They were each hung up to a light in the ceiling, and it was all so very organized. The only surviving member of the family was a cat. Huh.
Mm.
Huh.
The only reason I haven't told anyone is because the cat is trying to explain to me what had happened to the family. Here we go. But it can't talk, obviously. The cat is trying to show me the whats, whys, and how the family ended up in their predicament. The cat was rolling on the floor and jumping on the tables and doing weird movements that were similar to a dance of some sort. The cat was also making facial expressions and doing more things with its body, like tensing and then jumping around. That's just a cat, bro.
That's just a cat. Exactly. You know what? Like the first paragraph kind of caught me off guard because it has the usual kind of cadence, but it didn't quite have the same unhingedness right out the gate.
Yeah.
And now I feel like we're getting kind of eased back into the old familiar feeling.
Yeah.
All right. It was even climbing on top of the hanging I did that to myself. That was not actually anything wrong.
Yeah.
Yes. It was even climbing on top of the hanging bodies and making more facial remarks. I'm sorry.
More facial remarks.
Facial remarks.
Yes.
Let me remark on your facial. More facial remarks and weird cat sounds as well, shaking its body. The cat would go from hot to cold, and I still had no idea what the cat was trying to tell me with its body. and the sounds it was making. I thought to myself that when I finally understood this cat, then I will go and tell everyone, but the cat seemed frustrated with me as I couldn't understand what it was trying to explain to me. Someone didn't take cat sign language cat classes.
The cat seemed more desperate, and it even started shaking the bodies and doing star jumps.
Star jumps?
What?
Star... What are star jumps?
It looked insane, and the cat then started smashing the plates and cutlery. and, I found it so admirable that the cat was trying to explain to me how the family ended up hanging themselves and why they hung themselves. If only animals could talk, but I think I may now have to call the police. The cat is looking so disappointed at me, and I feel so stupid and bad for not understanding what this cat was trying to tell me.
I feel stupid and bad for failing to understand what this cat is trying to tell me too.
Yeah.
I'm failing to understand what a star jump is.
Yeah. Googling star jump.
Jump Up Superstar starts playing in the background. Hey, future David.
It's time to jump up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
The star jump is a plyometric move, meaning it requires you to propel your body off of the ground.
Okay, so you're okay. So that's the okay.
It's like, oh, it's like a fully extended jumping jack.
Oh, so now it's doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, as a last resort, the cat started floating in the air and temporarily splitting itself into multiple versions of itself, and they all started doing weird movements.
Cool,
They
cool,
were all
cool,
making
cool, 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 cool. All right, all right, all right. Here we are. Cool.
There it is. There it is. I'm as you're saying that, I can only picture the cat splitting itself going cool, 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 cool. Every time you say cool, it splits into an additional cat.
Good.
They were all making strange sounds, but even with all of that, I still had no idea what the cat was trying to tell me. The cat was clearly given up, and I apologized to the cat. I have phoned the police and ambulance.
Do you want to join me in reading the two comments?
Sure.
One is, ooh, and I thought my cats were weird.
And then my next one is, they were murdered. The cat was trying to tell you that. Well, my only comment on that was, it sure is a short story, one story.
Yep, it is absolutely that.
Yep. Let's see if the next one. It is a grade A, certified organic short story, one story, without a doubt.
It is most certainly that.
It's been sitting on the shelf for a while, but you pop that jar open, you get that fresh whiff of short story one, and pop the lid off, and you spread it on some toast, and then it starts splitting into multiple toasts, and then your cup starts floating in the air, and you know everything is good. But it wasn't actually floating in the air; it was just an invisible person holding the cup.
That's the important bit. It was not actually floating.
It was never floating. It was me, Dio.
You do not have cup superpowers. I am sorry.
We're sorry to disappoint literally everybody who listens to this show, but no, it's not a thing. Short story one has dashed all of your hopes and dreams. And
roll for initiative.
Yeah, that's right. That first encounter was an odd one, but it seems like our group managed to overcome the multiplying cats.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard to do horror in D&D.
Yeah, analysis is escaping me.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll do better if we read the next one. Let's move the group to the next room in the dungeon.
All right. Yep. Next story.
The next story is called "Something Keeps Staring: All the Supernatural Creatures in My Neighborhood."
Okay, I think you read the last paragraph of the last one. So
I think I did. Yes. So
yes, something keeps on scaring all of the supernatural creatures in my area, and I want to join them in being scared and terrified. What could terrify such creatures that are known to be terrifying? I remember at first that I saw a gang of vampires running away from something in the middle of the night. I tried to join them in the running and being scared, but it was clear that I wasn't part of their group. I even offered them blood, and I could tell that they wanted it, but something had scared them so much that they refused blood. I tried searching for the thing that was scaring the vampires in the forest, but couldn't find anything.
It's a big walking garlic.
Yep.
A big walking clove of garlic.
See, the last one had some buildup, but this is where we're starting with this one.
This is, you know what? There's different flavors of short story one, but they're all so definitively short story one. What a treasure. Then I found a pack of werewolves running away from something. Something within the forest. There's no point, Alan. There's
Yeah,
no point.
none.
Let's just keep going.
Yeah, we're going.
Then I found a pack of werewolves running away from something within the forest, and I wanted to run with them in being scared and frightened. I want to run with the wolves so bad. And as I enjoy being scared and frightened, oh, well, then just go to a haunted house, dude. Just go to like a, like a haunt. I don't know. Being scared and frightened, but I was clearly an outcast. I tried finding the thing that was scaring the werewolves so much, and I began to become so angry and agitated that I couldn't find it. The way they were howling so desperately and desperately dragging onto anything to hide away was unusual in such scary beasts to do so. Oh boy.
Then another time. Hey, this other time, I found a pack of witches flying through the forest, and they were trembling in fear, and they were making heckling sounds. I begged them to let me be part of the group, but they were ignoring me. It's just this over and over again, huh?
Uh-huh. Pretty much.
I tried asking them what was scaring them, and none of them would say anything to me, and some witches even committed suicide by burning themselves in fire.
What?
Oh, I, I never thought that I would see such menacing entities do such a thing to themselves, even with all of their magic.
Um, actually, I believe the term is coven. A group of witches is called a coven.
How many? Hey, how many gangs of witches do you run into in the woods?
I mean, you might be surprised to know just how many. Not actually. I don't just personally. Like, to be honest, I'm not cool enough to know any witches. Like cackling kind of witches. Not like like people. I know a couple people who like practice Wicca, and they're cool, and they're my friends, but they're not like the
Right.
they're not like the supernatural kind. Like I mean, okay, maybe they think they're. I mean, I'm not trying to shit on anyone because like they're practicing their beliefs and it's power beliefs is what they use to cast spells and do things, but they're not like riding brooms or heckling anybody or throwing themselves in fire to do anything. So I just I tried so hard to find the things that were scaring these supernatural beings, and I couldn't find an inch of evidence. I want to be scared and frightened, just like the vampires, werewolves, and the witches, but I guess you need to become one of them to understand what they were so afraid of. There are somehow there were some house there were some house there were some house which had been evaded by scared vampires, werewolves, and witches, and some vampires even killed themselves by going into the sunlight. That made no sense.
Yep.
I am totally lost.
I mean, like, I get it. They're scared of you. That's the
Is
thing we're going
Yeah,
for. Yeah.
yep, yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna, yeah.
Yeah. The reveal is. It's probably not even going to be a reveal, but the
It,
idea is that our narrator is the big scary monster that they're
mm,
afraid of.
we all saw it. We all saw it coming.
Then I found, oh God. Then I found a pack of Wendigos, ghouls, and rakes. And in my mind, I have chosen not to accept that it is the rake. It's just sentient rakes,
It's just a
like
bunch of garden
gardening
tools.
equipment. Wendigos, ghouls, and rakes all running away from something more menacing than all of them put together. I wanted to join them so badly and being scared and frightened as god damn it. As I
Uh,
enjoy being scared and frightened. I
uh,
went towards the thing that all three different types of creatures were running away from at the time, and I found nothing. I found absolutely nothing. And I wish I could join all of these creatures in being scared and frightened. That is the end.
that is a non-story.
One comment.
I
I
really
really love this.
That British woman says, "I really loved this." This is such a non-story. What a departure. What an absolute because it's what an absolute departure from the usual short story one shenanigans. Just the verve, the panache,
Yeah.
the absolute. Hey, you want to do the next one?
Yeah.
I mean, be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Let's. Yes, I do. I do. I want to do it.
Okay, here it comes. You're gonna get it now, baby. It's called Uh, Future David's going to edit around this. I hate to.
Jesus. Just the title.
Mhm. Ladies and gentlemen, this story is titled "I Hate Doing Parents' Evenings with Kids Whose Parents Are Dead." As
Ooh, okay.
um, as a teacher, I hate doing parents' evenings with kids whose parents are dead, and in general, I hate parents' evenings. Parents come expecting to hear their best in their child, and if you even dare to give them any kind of negativity, they will look towards you and the school and everything else apart from themselves to blame. It's hard being a teacher these days, and who knows what the future of teaching will look like. Classes only ever seem to be increasing, and more pressure on the teacher to perform at the highest level is just ruthless. The targets are impossible. So many are dropping out.
Okay. When you've dealt with the kids whose parents are alive during parents' evenings, then the next lot come in the kids whose oh,
Mm-hmm.
then the next lot come in the kids whose parents have died. The lights start twitching and the air becomes colder, and even your own words start to ice up and even echo through the room. I have a kid named Jericho, and his parents died in a car crash, and all the empty seats left by the living parents were now filled by the dead parents. He's just so inconvenienced.
It's this is the attitude of the short story one protagonist, just
Yeah.
miffed and inconvenienced by everything around them.
I want to
Vexed,
I want to make
vexed.
this I want to make the short story one horror film. I want this exact scenario to play on screen where we see a teacher like saying goodbye to like a group of kids, and then the next group of kids shows up, and then he looks up, and in the seats it's just a bunch of dead people, and he's like, ah, beans, all right.
Do we determine this is, you know what? This is the next anthology series. This is the next
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities is the short story one collection, except even though all the characters might be portrayed differently, they're all played by the same actor.
Yes.
It's
Also,
all
I want Short Story One's permission to adapt one of their stories into a do. I want to do a video version of one of these stories.
Oh my gosh, yes. Hey, short story one. If you're out there still, if you haven't abandoned us completely, because it has been a while since we've read everything of yours, if it let Alan let don't be like Dronian and ignore us.
Yeah,
Let Alan do a film adaptation of one of your stories.
Droney, and I will kiss you on the mouth. I swear to God.
Alan will dress like a K-pop star and kiss you on the mouth.
It's true. I will do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
Uh,
Anyway,
yeah.
I
Wow.
had a
Yeah.
kid named
Okay.
Jericho, and
Jericho.
his parents died in a car crash, and all of the empty seats left by the living parents were now filled by the dead parents. Twisted bodies and blood all over their faces, and the ones who seemed to be alive and well, you had to watch out for those.
Okay. What? There's a few that look like they were alive and well, but they're actually dead.
I think so. It's like not everyone dies in a car crash. Like, I mean, you could just like have a heart attack and die.
That's true.
So
Or
they,
you could,
that, yeah,
yeah, you could suffer an aneurysm. You could
true.
walk into an open manhole.
Yeah, you could just straight up Bruce Willis it, and no one would be the kid would be none the wiser that you are a dead people.
True, true. This guy knows though. This guy is
Yeah,
aware.
yeah, this
This
guy's on
individual.
top of it.
Yeah. Jericho came to my desk with his parents, who were all twisted up and blood was coming out of their mouths. And even the cleaners hate it when we do parents' evening with the kids with dead parents.
Oh,
As they
so
get,
he doesn't just it's not just him seeing them.
so everybody, so this is a common occurrence. Okay, sure, cool, 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 rad,
Right on.
rad,
Yes.
excellent, inclusive,
Good.
inclusive. Well, they get mess everywhere and they're ghostly goo and other matter. Jericho wasn't a bad kid, but he wasn't the most intelligent either. And when I tried to tell his dead parents this very fact, your kid's kind of thick.
Kid's kind of a dumbass.
His dead parents didn't take it too kindly. They started shaking, and I could see another teacher being strangled and possessed by another kid's dead parents. This is my favorite one of the bunch so far.
This one is this one's an A plus.
This is A plus. We're not quite at multiplying cat levels yet, but just overall, just the banal vision of this is very good. Ugh.
When Jericho's dead parents started shouting at me, and blood was coming onto my shirt. They threatened me that they will haunt me and cause me so much misery to my life. Then I saw another teacher being risen to the air after bad news to other dead parents of a child, and their child was loving it.
Yeah, fuck him up, dead mom and dad.
Then I just backtracked and lied and said that I had the wrong paperwork and that Jericho was an amazing top student and everything calmed for me. Ah, you buckled.
Ah, coward.
I also saw another fellow teacher started to spew out gunk from his mouth and started to speak multiple languages, as the dead parents of a child in his class was underperforming. He started stabbing himself.
Luckily, that was all for me, but I have to admit, I hate doing parents' easies with kids who have dead parents. Yeah, this is
Yes.
kind of a fucking racket. Like,
Yeah.
do you think some, oh God, in this universe, do you think that some kids that, ragamuffin, like truant students will try to get out of this shit by murdering their parents so their parents will get fucking ghost powers?
Um. You know, I guess that all depends if the dead parents would remember that their kids killed them.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. I
Young
don't think.
man, you murdered us with the intent of getting even with your teacher, like, or getting through an exam. Well, no, no,
You are grounded,
for eternity.
and we can enforce that even better now that we're ghosts.
Uh-huh. It's a very calculated risk you have to take if you were a
Yeah.
delinquent and you want to make
Yeah.
this sort of thing
You'd
happen.
really, really, really have to like make it look like an accident in a way that they don't even realize you did it. And
Hmm.
that's rough.
That's very rough. Especially
If
if
you're especially if you're not a very bright student.
no, exactly. You this really has to be on a case by case basis. If you're
Right.
not, if you don't, because the other problem is like it could be that you make it look really convincing, but then your dead parents call Columbo.
Yep. Yeah, they get yeah. It's like, all right, I succeeded in poisoning my parents and they didn't know that I did it. And they're gonna be dead soon. Wait, is that Dr. House? Oh shit.
Again, the Doctor House and the dead parents for some reason are at the dead parent teacher conference,
Yes.
and he's shuffling the paperwork and it's like, oh, it says here that Jericho is doing okay despite the fact that you both died from. According to this, it says it's not lupus.
Oh man, I showed up to the parent teacher conference and fucking both the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock and the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock are there. I am fucked.
Well, you think that's bad? Last time I had a parent teacher conference, fucking JB Fletcher showed up.
Oh no.
That woman can kick so much ass. It's surprising. And she looks like a little old lady. What the fuck?
I am going to summer school. God damn.
The worst part is all the camp counselors no, not camp counselors. The worst part is they send when it's summer school, the teachers are dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Summer school is where they have all the dead teachers.
They send it if you die, they send you to summer school. You have to teach the summer school classes. Uh okay, this is the so far so good. This is the best one. A plus.
Yep.
Comments on this. Damn, pretty good.
Yeah. Sure.
Sure, all right. You want to take the next comment? Because these are fun.
As a kid with a dead parent, seems accurate.
Jeez. Wow, this amazing. You got some talent, OP.
Lorian Gunners on Zedna says, I kind of wish I was one of the kids.
Oh no. This see, Lori and Gunners on Sedna did murder their parents and get away with it,
Yeah,
or would
yeah.
murder their parents and get away with it.
Everyone keep a close eye on Lorian there.
Oh, keep an eye on Lorian's parents too,
Yeah.
in particular. Oh damn. Okay, so that was good. That was the refreshing burst of weirdness I needed.
Yeah, yeah. That was yep.
Let me get the next one. This one is titled "Why Do I Always Have to Be a Bad Guy?" And it's coming to your doorstep in 3, 2, 1. Pop.
Oh wow, look what just arrived on my doorstep.
Serious package
Yeah.
arrived at your door. All right. It's your turn to well, basically the party found the secret door, and I hadn't really plotted ahead for this room very well. So this is you're setting up this encounter.
Great, great, great. Why do I always have to be the bad guy? But I guess someone in life, someone has to. You answered your own question in before there was a period. You answered the question presented in the title.
Way to deactivate the story already. Short story one.
Why do
That's
I
a
always
fumble. That's a nat one. You
Why do I
forgot to
always
mention.
have to be the bad guy? But I guess in life someone has to, comma. It is a responsibility I take with such pride. I remember being at a family gathering party and there were kids around as well as lots of food and nobody was brave enough to be the bad person and ruin it all for everybody. This is Yep,
uh,
this is a
uh,
short story one story, all right.
mm-hmm. I hope you
Uh
all enjoying this themed adventure.
I kept fighting with myself to not be the bad guy again and that I can't keep being the bad guy and that one day someone else would have to do it. And then when I saw that nobody was going to be the bad guy, I decided to ruin the party by destroying the food, saying horrible things to people, and pushing a child over.
Shove. I didn't want to be the bad guy, but I had to, as there was always need to be a bad guy at any event. Then in the summer there was a swimming pool, even a swimming pool event where all sorts of people went into the pool and everything was going all right. Then I realized everyone was ignoring the fact that somebody had to be the bad guy and ruin the event. I kept telling myself over and over again that somebody else should do it for once and that I should just enjoy myself. It felt wrong, though, to try and ignore the elephant in the room and waiting for somebody else is always a failure. Oh, you.
So if I had to choose the baseline idea of a short story, one story, I think we're about to get it, which is
Yep.
essentially that our main character is a murderer, but is too lacks any social intelligence to realize that that is a bad thing.
It is the most socially inept character you can think of, and
Yeah.
they just don't get it.
So I started drowning.
There it is. I saw that one coming.
So I started drowning people by dragging them to the bottom of the pool, but luckily no body died. They were all shouting at me, and I get no recognition or appreciation for being the bad guy. As the bad guy, everyone is able to blame me and form a relationship with themselves, and it is a heavy responsibility to be the bad guy. I was so angry why I always had to be the bad guy or why I was always choosing myself and why couldn't someone else just do it? The absolute cowards. I'm just imagining someone holding someone under the pool and looking at everyone around them and going, "You guys are fucking cowards."
They're literally standing in the shallow end of the pool on someone's back. They're flailing underneath them like fucking cowards. Look at yourselves.
You
What are you
couldn't do
doing with your
this.
lives?
I always have to do this.
Always me. God, fucking. Lately in my area, nothing had was happening. I knew that I had to do something about that. I had to be the bad guy and make something terrible happen. And it is a responsibility only the strongest can maintain. I kidnapped a few people and buried them alive, and now the whole town is in a panic. I am also creating jobs for newspapers to write about, new openings for detectives and specialists. As a bad guy, I know that I don't have to always be the bad guy, but nobody else does it, so I do it. I once got told that no one chooses to be a bad they, and that it isn't an actual job. That there doesn't need to be a bad guy. What a load of bull. Hmm. Inspiring.
Two comments. One, wow, this narrative is very interesting. Almost like how when a kid misbehaves so much that almost everyone starts expecting them to, that they feel no choice but to fulfill their obligation, so to speak. Yep, that's it. That's exactly it.
Yep. Although
You
I
know,
do appreciate, yep, I do
nope.
appreciate the next one. Your story is as bad as normal.
Hey, come on now.
That's a little harsh, but I mean, I think we all kind of love short story one stories in the back of our brains, or in the forefront of our brains, or there's something special, really
Yeah,
special. These works.
yeah, yeah. No, I love them.
Mm-hmm. I have one more, and then we will conclude our adventure for the day. This is the final boss room. Secret door has been
Yep.
revealed. So far, positive reactions from the party seem to be about the third room.
Yeah. That was kind of the epic encounter. Drop some real good loot.
Hmm. I think this will be. I think this is going to be a game changer, though. I mean, on paper it looked good, but we'll see how it plays when we get the dice rolling. So
Right,
here's our
right.
next one. This final one is titled
Deleted by
"Deleted by
user.
User."
What a
What?
twist! What a
No,
twist!
no. Short story one. No. Oh
Why?
no, I waited too long. Oh,
This is
oh. I
this is
mean,
a sad
oh,
day.
haha. Got you. Yeah. I'm the bad guy.
Oh no! It
Yeah.
was David the whole
It
time.
was me the whole time. I'm gonna drown you in a
Ah,
pool now.
shit.
Roll,
Oh no!
make a
Fuck!
dex saving throw.
Future David, let's get some drowning noises going.
Yeah, I'll work on that part. Get that going. Is that convincing enough for you? I think.
Yeah. Oh god.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Yeah. Okay. You're good.
You're a real bad guy.
Duh. Well, I guess that
This,
our adventure came to an abrupt halt
yeah.
when
We
the
built
story was
man,
actually
we
the
built it
lost
up and
story.
everything.
Yeah. That was the story was supposed to be everyone has dressed up to look exactly like me for Halloween, but it seems to not exist anymore.
That is, man.
I Now I'm burning with curiosity. Hey, short story one, can you like send us that story?
Yeah, do it.
Just that one. Feel free to copy and paste it in like a message. Like I need to know. Like the mist it's gonna plague me day and night until I know the answer.
I
It's
mean,
it's mm, Look, I nearly drowned Alan because of that.
yeah,
Because someone had to be the bad guy.
there is some water in my lungs.
And it's gonna be really uncomfortable for like maybe an hour or two. Just
Yeah,
uh,
not a fan.
I'm I'm deflating. Oh no, why? Uh, Man. Well, of the four we read, we sure had some. It was it was certainly a collection.
Yeah, it happened.
You know what? I feel bad. Everyone gets inspiration. Y'all get
Hold the fucking phone. We are saving this episode
Oh, what? Wait, what?
because 126 days ago on Short Scary Stories OOC for the August Community Spotlight, Short Story 1 was interviewed.
What?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Hold on.
Alan, please. Link, link close. Ha 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 ha. You, Alan, you're the hero we need. Okay. We're gonna read this out loud, right?
Okay. Who's going to play Short Story?
That's a good question. Who? Oh, I don't know. Okay. Kinda, I kinda want to. Is
Okay.
that okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are reading the real August interview with the inimitable Short Story 1.
Oh my God. Okay. I will credit where credit is due. This was posted by user a clockwork monkey. That's a good name. I like that. All right.
Welcome, user Short Story 1. Thanks for letting me interview you. I've been fascinated by your writing for a while now. But before I get to that question, please tell everyone how you came up with your name.
Well, I have always preferred short stories to novels, and so I thought I'd call myself Short Story One.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your favorite size of dog, what drink you like to have when writing, whatever you would like to disclose.
I'm from England. I did kind of start to pick that part up when we were doing this. And I
Yeah.
work in a residential building where I see lots of different types of people and situations. At the same time, it gets quite with nothing happening. uh,
Um, was there a specific moment that you knew you wanted to write in the horror genre?
about 2 years ago, I just told myself to write one story a day, and I guess I just enjoy the feeling of submitting something. Or if I get an idea, I just like to bring it to life. Plus, I find writing short stories makes life interesting. Jesus.
Do you explore other genres beside horror? If so, tell us a little bit about them.
No, just horror. No punctuation.
So I've noticed how prolific you are, and I've been wondering how much time a week you put into your writing. Do you have a writing habit or ritual that you use?
Oh boy. Oh, I'm excited. About one story a day mainly, just before I go to bed, and it's become a routine for me. I just like doing it, and it bends existence for me, and that's what writing does. It's also great discipline, and sometimes I get up at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and write a story and go back to sleep. Also, it's therapy.
Cool.
Yes.
Yours.
Oh, that's awesome. Are you kidding me? What a
It's
good
great.
outlet.
Your story, I love screaming like I am being brutally murdered, is deeply disturbing. It had me on the edge of my seat waiting to see what happens next. Was OP the killer? Was someone working with them? And the ending was just so bittersweet. How did you come up with the idea for this?
Well, the idea was that there was a serial killer on the loose killing people, and OP, who just enjoyed screaming like he is being murdered in general, now had other people screaming like he does until it gets dark. The idea came from during lockdown when every resident where I work used to clap for the heroes working in hospitals dealing with COVID. Also, short story one is like a character who is not sane and is a little crazy himself. So, when I write, I am not myself, but playing the character of short story one, who didn't seem to care about other people screaming and being murdered, but was just glad he is not alone screaming like this. I do enjoy playing short story one. You and me both.
What? Yeah, yeah. What's what's your favorite? What's your favorite story that you've written?
My recent ones being I am a grown man and I am stuck in a trolley child seat, and I finally know how to use a washing machine. And lastly, my conjoined twin is a zombie. I really enjoyed writing those and thought that I was having a good week. When you write every day, it's like a wave. Sometimes you're on the up, and other times you will be on the downtrend.
My favorite story of yours is I tried reading every short story written by Short Story One. As a warning, go. This is as a warning, go. This is a pretty nail on the head. I think only Sam Mary Jane can attest to having read all of them, which is a mean feat. How many stories do you think you have written to date?
I would like to think about 200.
Oh,
Is okay. Now, wait a minute. There is a link here. Every short story, one story. Oh,
it's a
wait.
story called I tried to read every short story written by Short Story One.
This is so fucking meta. What the fuck? Should
Okay.
Alan, Alan, should we read this?
Okay. Um,
Like after the interview, should we read this?
I, yeah, let's do it.
I think okay.
Just envisioned us clap. I just envisioned us holding each other's hands like Thoma and Louise.
Something along
What
that crossed my line. I
are your
pictured.
hobbies besides writing?
Oh, sorry, I completely lost what. Oh, I
Yeah,
partake in
yeah.
grappling martial arts called Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and it's fantastic. I was not expecting that. I actually have received some story ideas while grappling with someone, which is the worst time to be thinking about something else when you are grappling someone. Lol.
You have a variety of stories hitting different themes and tones. How do you decide what theme or tone you're going to use for a story?
I just go with it, and it sorts it out. I just go with it, and it's sort of whatever hits me. This is
God,
incredible. Okay.
this is the best. Where does your inspiration come from? Does real life experience ever make their way into your stories?
I guess I'm lucky. I have quite a good amount of imagination, but at the same time, working in a residential building where there are so many people from all aspects of life, or doing night shifts where nothing is happening and the boredom helps create ideas. And even doing boring work like processing parcels induces ideas.
Um, how did you find r/short scary stories, and when did you begin writing for the subreddit?
Well, I found r/short scary stories because I love horror, and I guess it just made sense to evolve into subreddits. I started creepypastas on websites like creepypasta.org and creepypasta.com under the name Ulashai. Ooh. I wrote
Oh,
stories like Crunched Up Paper House and The Cameraman, but those websites reject a lot of stories now. So subreddits like short scary stories where they allow all stories to be shown in general made sense to me. At first it started off with just submitting stories that had been rejected to creepypasta websites, but now subreddits like short scary stories is where I always write.
what short what short scary stories authors and or authors in general have influenced you the most?
Alan Moore, who said, if you write every day, you are a writer. Neil Gaiman, who said it is important to get bored. Very lofty inspirations there.
Amazing.
And you know what? Neil Gaiman being a one of my favorite authors. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to you, short story one.
Are there any controversial topics that you will not broach or that you prefer not to write about?
I tell myself to just write it, and if it gets deleted or taken off, then I will accept that and respect that and try again with another story.
What are your writing goals for 2022?
Same again. One story a day just before I go to sleep or wake up at 2 a.m. and write one.
As a prolific writer of scary short stories, do you have any advice for a budding author?
Just write every day, and eventually you will find your voice. Oh, short story one.
Yeah.
Oh, short story one.
You
This is
found your voice.
actually, wow.
Yeah. If people don't already know, where can they find your work?
Oh, I have stories published on creepypasta.org and creepypasta.com under the name Ulashai. It was my start, I guess. Oh, there's community questions.
Yep, two community questions. You often use Indian and Arabic names in your stories, indicating that you're either from there or as part of your heritage or culture. How do you think it influences your writing?
Oh, yes, I am a Bangladeshi Muslim and I have been to Bangladesh and Saudi Arabia. I am not sure how it might influence my writing, but I have always had a weird imagination. I'm so grateful for subreddits like Short Scary Stories as it allows me, my weird imagination, to have a home. When I was a teenager and naive, I used to say whatever I was imagining in public life, and people thought I was weird. Then I learned to shut up and found writing, which is a blessing. This is fascinating.
Yeah. Hey, short story one. Hypothetically, God is using their phone to record a final video message on the eve of Armageddon. One, who slash what are they sending it to? Two, what do they say in the message? Three, what is in the background of the video, aka what's behind God?
This is, oh God. One, he will send it to the most popular YouTuber slash podcaster out there and get the message out to the millions. Two, the message, I love you all. Three, the background will be half heaven and half hell.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. This is fascinating. Like we
Yeah.
we were just talking about all this detective shit, and then all of a sudden we get this gem.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Well, now we know so much more about the mystery.
My brain is whirling right now.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we have the meta story to read now.
All right, let's do the meta.
Let's
It's only literally four paragraphs.
Yep.
Okay.
I tried read every short story written by Short Story One. I have tried reading every short story written by Short Story One. The reason why I did was just so I could say that I had done it, that I had read every short story written by Short Story One. I have read novels all of my life, and so going through Short Story One's list of stories would be easy peasy. As I started reading Short Story One stories, it was all calm and smooth. Then, when disruptions in life came by, like birthdays, weddings, and funerals, I found myself becoming enraged by them all as they were disrupting my journey to read every short story written by Short Story One.
You've got to be kidding me. Oh, Lordy. It's like climbing a mountain with a time limit, and any obstacle would be an irritant. I could feel my body changing and my mind changing as I was going through the list of stories. My hygiene started to become lackluster. I wasn't eating, and nor was I socializing. People around me started to notice a problem, and they tried talking to me about it, but I insisted that when I have read every short story one short stories, then everything will be fine. I could feel the wiring in my brain changing, and I wasn't sure if my brain looked the same anymore.
Every time I thought that I had nearly reached the end of reading every short story one had written, the
Goddamn.
bastard Short Story One would write another, which would increase the list. I would have a breakdown, and everyone would try to hold me down. But the need to read every short story written by Short Story One had given me extra strength to fight back against the multiple people holding me down. I would go to libraries and stay till the end just reading Short Story One stories. I would stay in bars that offer free Wi-Fi and chargers so that I could keep reading Short Story One's short stories until I get kicked out.
I need a moment.
I'm there with you.
I need a moment.
Whew.
Oh, of all the things I was expecting tonight, Alan, I wasn't expecting this.
This is quite a turn of events.
I'm so glad you're here with me for this.
It feels great to be here, bud.
Then, Then when I had realized and snapped out of whatever trance I was in, it was too late. All my friends and loved ones and are either old or dead, and I am still the same age. I'm stuck in this place forever until I read every short story written by Short Story One. Short Story One, though, keeps writing more, and I can't take it anymore. And I just want to give up, but something isn't allowing me. I regret trying to read every short story written by Short Story One.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun. Oh, and on that note, oh man. Ooh, this was such a revelation. I feel like we can, in a weird way, I feel like we can kind of close this chapter of UCA for a little bit.
Yeah, I was about to say I kind of feel the same way.
We have laughed, we've cried, mostly because we've laughed.
Yeah,
We've almost died. We have questioned our sanity, the nature of reality, and our morals as a result. And now, unexpectedly, this has all come to this beautiful moment of fruition where the meta has like cycled back in on itself. Um, it's kind of bittersweet.
yeah, yeah. We're not saying we'll never read another short story one story, but like yeah, I think for now we can yeah, yeah. Wow. Feels
If
good. But it's at the same time.
it,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I hope you all enjoyed the campaign.
Yeah.
Alan and I worked really hard on it. But the adventure was written by Short Story One, just heavily modified by us.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah. But seriously, Short Story One. Let Alan do a short film based on your stuff.
Yeah, no, I will totally do it.
We will make that anthology, and all credit to you for that. Um, and I think on that note, it's getting late. I think
It's a
we're
little late.
both. It's a little late, just a little. Um, if you all who are listening out there want to be the bad guy, you could send us some of your short fiction or not so short fiction, preferably short fiction, though. You can send it to us at midnightmarinara@gmail.com and we will read them on our podcast and talk about them. We will try to read them in the order they come in, unless, of course, you are one of our patrons. Patreon.com/midnightmarinara. We try our very best to bump the stories from you up a little higher on the list for in appreciation for your patronage. Everything that gets sent to us should be something you've written, but we have a few people who have gotten express permission from the author and from the place where it was published in order to get those read on the show. We've fact checked that to make sure. And that's the main thing. We're here to read, critique, and sometimes just be baffled by the things you write. So if you're looking for honest feedback, we're always happy to provide it. Please send us some stuff. We're getting we've had quite a few. We're getting a little thin in the zone recently. I'm not too proud to admit that. I will admit that we could use some more material.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dronian. Dronian. Dronian.
Dronian. There is one big one that I've been holding on to that we've been saving, as I've mentioned earlier. But we'll be getting to that relatively soon. In the meantime, though, if you do become a patron, well, I promote that still. Dregs, we have Dregs. You can go listen to the Dregs. They are all the warm up stuff that we do before every episode, and there's a whole backlog of them. There's at least 73, 72 of them at this point. Well, worth looking up.
Yeah.
They usually release the week after one of our episodes goes live. There's also a whole bunch of other content there. And while I'm at it, check out the other amazing shows on the Creative Horror Network. Shows such as the recently updated Midnight Marinara with its an episode appropriate for the upcoming New Year's Eve since it's set on New Year's Day. Hell or High Water, or I almost said Hell or High Water. Hell or High Noon.
Yeah. Hell or High Watermelon.
Hell or, it is good. I do like Hell or High Watermelon.
Yeah.
Which we all kind of conspired together, us creative horror folks. Well worth checking out. Also, the Jameson tapes is a real fun time and a great ride. What's in the pipeline for Jameson tapes?
What episode just came out? Then I will be able to answer that.
Girl on the Third Floor was the last one, wasn't it?
That was episode 10. Okay. Next one is going to be interesting. We are covering something that is not a movie.
Ooh.
Um,
Oh, what?
and something we all kind of have our roots in.
Oh,
Those typically. Hang on, let me see if I'm comfortable with the spoilers. That drops a week from now, so I guess I'll try and get everyone pumped for it. Abysme and I watched Marble Hornets the first season.
oh shit. Oh, all right. I'm stoked. I'm stoked. I'm stoked. Let's see where this goes.
Other than that, there is a brief hiatus on Saturday Night Shepherd as I keep getting invited to Christmas parties.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. It's around that time of year. Besides, we
but
already saw the Canon
um,
Shemp ending.
that's true. But we are approaching end game of Mass Effect 3. I feel.
We got to be at this point.
I just finished Thessia.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, I won't delve into it. I won't say much more than that. You already you already did the Citadel party too, right?
I did the Citadel party. I still have the Leviathan DLC to do.
Mm-hmm.
That may be what I end up doing next.
Sweet.
But yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Uh, don't forget also we have other shows to look at like Darkly Lit and The
yeah.
Witching Hour and Trick or Track and yeah, we have lots of shows. We like them. We love them.
I don't know why this always happens in my brain, but I always change the name of Darkly Lit to Dankly Lord.
Thank that's new.
Yeah, Dankly Lord.
Dankly Lord.
Yeah.
What do we cover on Dankly Lord?
Just weed.
The spooky weed review podcast.
Yeah. You just get high and do like really like Bush League horror analysis. It's just like nah, but like the the shark in Jaws is like a metaphor for like consumerism.
But,
Eh,
yeah, because black eyes, you know, like
yeah,
like a doll's eyes. He brings
yeah,
it up, and
yeah, yeah.
who
I kind of
fucking
kind of want to do this show now.
Dankly Lord.
Dankly Lord.
I think I know what we're going to be doing in April.
Yeah, April 20th. Dankly Lord.
You heard it here first, folks.
Good evening, intrepid listeners. This is the Pasta Shade, the host of Midnight Marinara, and this podcast is part of CreativeHorror.com, a network of podcasts and creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. For more content like this, visit us at CreativeHorror.com.